Welcome back, everybody. We're diving deep today into something you may not have heard about before.
Ooh, interesting.
Breast forms.
Oh, hey.
Specifically, how they're used in cross-dressing.
Interesting.
We'll be using Gender Benson's article for this.
Okay, cool.
Now, Benson's article is really what made me realize how much more there is to this topic than I had ever thought of before.
Yeah, I think people often have, I don't know, a lot of preconceived notions.
Right, and it goes so far beyond aesthetics. It's about self-expression and so much more.
I think that's a really important point. And you know Benson's article, it goes, like you said, beyond just the surface level and really looks at, like, how do these things affect people, like socially, personally, and yeah, just really digs deep.
So let's just start with the basics.
Yeah.
What exactly are breast forms?
So think of them like accessories that are made to, I guess, simulate the look and the feel of natural breasts.
Okay.
And they come in a bunch of different materials. Silicone's the most popular because it's like super realistic. It feels like it moves like real breasts.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Why are they particularly significant for cross-dressers, though?
So I think, like, if you imagine being able to see a part of yourself visually expressed that you don't really see on your body. And so, for someone who is like exploring their gender identity, I think breast forms can help to create a more balanced, more proportional figure that really helps to enhance a feminine silhouette.
Right, I see.
And, Benson even mentioned that for some people, this visual transformation can be like really affirming.
Wow.
And help them to reduce gender dysphoria.
So it's not just about looking a certain way, it's about feeling like you're aligning with your inner self.
Exactly.
Benson also mentions that breast forms can help to boost confidence and self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's like, when you feel good about how you look, that translates to confidence. She even quotes a cross-dresser in the article, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he says something like, putting on breast forms for the first time was like finally seeing myself reflected in the mirror.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it really shows, it's more than just like putting on like a piece of clothing or something.
Right. It's powerful.
It's like there's something deeper there.
That was like a moving testament to the emotional impact that breast forms can have. And really it's about feeling comfortable in your own skin, something we can all relate to. But I want to talk about the practical side of things now.
Mm-hmm.
Are they difficult to use?
No, not at all. And that was something that Benson actually really made a point to emphasize was how user-friendly most of them are. You can slip them into a bra, stick them right to your skin, and there's tons of tutorials online. So if you're somebody who needs a little help figuring things out, you can definitely find it online.
So it's not about needing some kind of special skill or expertise. It's about having the tools and the resources.
And the confidence to experiment.
To kind of find what works for you. What about comfort?
That's a really common concern, but a lot of the ones that are made these days, especially the silicone ones, are made with both realism and comfort in mind.
Okay.
They're designed so that they move with you, and some of them even have temperature regulating gel.
Oh, wow.
To make them feel even more real. Benson even mentions some of the newer silicone ones incorporate breathable designs, which I think is really important when you're talking about something you might be wearing all day.
Wow. Technology has come a long way. It's not just about how it looks, it's about how it feels, how it makes you feel.
Right. And it's about making it so that it's, minimizing that self-consciousness and helping people to just, be themselves and express themselves.
Absolutely. And there are options for every budget.
Yeah.
From simple foam to, higher-end silicone ones.
Yeah, there's a huge range.
So that's reassuring. Now, I am curious about, you mentioned earlier there are different shapes and sizes, even styles. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah. So think of it like choosing clothes for different occasions,
Right.
So you've got teardrop shapes, which give a more natural kind of sloping look.
Okay.
And then there are round ones, which give a fuller look.
Huh?
And then there are even strapless ones, which, certain outfits might call for. And there are even swimsuit specific forms.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's not about finding one perfect pair.
Yeah.
It's about having options to suit your style and preference.
Yeah, totally.
One of Benson's interviewees said that wearing breast forms allowed her to finally feel like she could blend in and actually enjoy social events without feeling like everyone was staring at her or judging her.
That's powerful.
It is. And it's about feeling like you can just go out and participate in life and not have to hide.
Yeah, I think that really speaks to the social impact.
And before we move on, I do want to touch on the different types that Benson mentions. We talk about the materials, and what are some of the advantages of the different ones? What makes silicone so sought after?
I think, like, besides, like we talked about,
Yeah.
the realistic weight and the movement, it also just feels very real. Like, the texture is very close to,
Right.
the feel of skin.
Right. Right. But I imagine with like higher quality often comes a higher price. Foam is a lot more affordable.
Yeah, for sure. Foam is definitely easier on your wallet. And it's good for, like, if you're a beginner or if you just want to try it out, or if comfort's more important to you than, that super realism. It is very lightweight and comfortable. It just might not look as real as silicone.
Right. So it's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between those things, budget, realism, and comfort. What about adhesive breast forms? Those sound interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Those are for like...
Yeah, those are great for, like, low-cut tops or if you want to wear a strapless dress.
Right.
Because they just stick right to your skin. So you don't need a bra.
Do they stay in place? I would imagine those are.
Yeah, you definitely have to get used to
Right.
putting them on.
It takes practice.
But once you do, they look really natural.
That's cool. Now there's also the custom-made ones, right?
Oh, yeah.
The bespoke option.
Yeah, so if you are looking for, like, just the most perfect fit
Right.
that's made for you and your body, then custom-made is the way to go.
That's really cool. But those have to be really expensive, right?
Yeah, they are the priciest for sure.
Yes.
But
Oh,
a lot of people say it's worth it
right.
because you just feel, so confident and comfortable.
So there's a spectrum of options from like the affordable foam all the way up to these like custom-made luxury ones.
And I think it really says a lot about how much people are understanding
Yeah.
gender expression more and more.
Absolutely.
And Benson makes a point of saying that the market is constantly evolving. Like, there are new materials and designs coming out all the time.
It's amazing how much thought and detail goes into these things.
Yeah.
And Benson's article does a really good job of showcasing the dedication and artistry that goes into creating breast forms that can meet the needs and the desires of so many different people.
And I think it speaks to the importance of, self-expression, finding the things that make us feel comfortable,
Right.
confident in our bodies.
I want to switch gears now and get like practical.
Okay.
Because say you're listening to this and you're like, okay, I'm ready to explore this for myself. Where do you even begin?
Right. It can feel really overwhelming.
Right. So what are some of the key things to think about when choosing breast forms? What did Benson say?
Okay, so Benson actually dedicates like a whole section of her article to this because she realizes how overwhelming it can be. There are just so many options out there. It's like, walking into this world of endless possibilities, which is exciting. But
yeah. So let's break it down. Like, what are some of the key things to consider?
Well, first and foremost,
Right.
size.
Okay, so size is important.
Yeah, you want to find a good fit,
Right.
something that feels natural and proportionate to your body, Not too big, not too small.
Right.
Goldilocks.
Right. And how do you figure that out? I mean, I know there are like sizing charts.
Yeah.
But
You have to take your measurements.
okay.
Think about your overall proportions. What kind of look are you going for? She even quotes a stylist who says, it's not about trying to mimic someone else's body. It's about finding what feels authentic and harmonious for you.
Oh, I like that quote.
It is a good one.
Yeah. So it really is about personalizing the experience
Exactly.
and finding what works for you and your body and your style. And shape too.
Oh, yeah. Shape's a big one.
Right.
Like we talked about the teardrop shapes versus like the round shapes. They all create a different look,
Right. They create a different silhouette.
Benson points out that the teardrop shape is usually what people choose for like a natural kind of slooping look.
Yeah.
But round shapes are good if you want something fuller.
So it's about, again,
Yeah.
choosing the shape based
It's
on
aesthetic.
your aesthetic. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then what about the actual material? We talked about silicone. We talked about foam. Does Benson go into the pros and cons of those?
She does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we know. Silicone is great for realism.
Right.
It looks real. It feels real. It moves real.
Right.
Foam is more affordable and lightweight. So, she really emphasizes that the choice is super personal. It depends on what you want and how much you want to spend.
Okay, that makes sense. Like if you're just starting out,
Exactly.
maybe you want to try foam first.
Foam is a good way to go.
Right.
And then, if you are looking for that, like
Ultimate.
realism, then yeah, you might want to go with silicone.
And are there like specific ones for, different needs, like I think you mentioned earlier, strapless ones, swimsuits. Like, are there
Uh-huh.
specific
Yeah.
breast forms for those things?
Yeah, there's such a wide range.
Right.
Oh, occasion specific, I guess, or style specific breast forms. It's really pretty amazing.
So once you've kind of narrowed down your choices, like you've figured out size, you've thought about shape, you know what material you want,
Yeah.
where do you go from there? Like, how do you actually...
So, luckily,
Yeah.
there's a ton of resources.
Oh.
And, you don't have to have all the answers.
Right. Yeah.
It's okay to say, I'm still learning about this.
Right. And that's a really important point. It's a journey for all of us.
It is.
And we can learn and grow together. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of breast forms and cross-dressing.
It's been great talking with you.
And we hope that, you've learned something
Yeah.
and that you'll continue to explore this topic and, think about gender identity, expression, and how we can create a more inclusive world for everyone.
I hope so too.